Hello everyone, and welcome to my next video for the Cydia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia, where we're going to be going to the Overcoming Sadness Part 15 Lost Chapter quest in Rydia's Lost Chapter. We're going to be trying to get the highest score that we feasibly can. I'm going to be doing it without launching, and I can't use Rydia because I'm basically in skip mode now for the next several EXs until, well, you know, until further notice, because I pulled quite a lot of them recently, as I'm sure you've discovered. So yeah, I don't really need any of them coming up, and I mean, Rydia is nice and all, but she's not one of my favourites, believe it or not. You know, it's a kind of a strange situation that happens to her in FF4. I know she's waifu for a lot of people, so you know I can respect that, but unfortunately she's not one of mine. That being said, I am going to be bringing along the team for this one of Zack, Vayne and Eiko with a Vayne support and a Bahamut summon. So some of you probably already know what kinds of shenanigans I'm going to be getting up to with this team, but basically, I mean, this Lost Chapter is a complete joke, right? Like, if we're talking about clearing the actual score, there is nobody that is going to fail to get the high score without trying, except for people that haven't pulled for an EX in about 2 months and people that have just started playing the game. That's pretty much how it is. So that being the case, there's two ways of trying to entertain yourself on this stage. There is either going in with the most gimped team possible and still trying to complete it, or there is trying to get the absolute highest score possible for personal satisfaction, which is the route that I'm going to be going with. So I'm bringing along Eiko because of a passive that no, not those passives, that I told you about before, which is Madain Sari's Blessing. So whenever she grants a buff to a party member, she extends all the party members' buffs, which includes Conqueror's Power. So when Vayne is at 3 stacks and he's ready to take his 2 free turns, that actually turns into 3 free turns when Eiko's around, if you use her HP regen first. And of course I brought along a friend Vayne because let's just, you know, dial it up to 11 and have even more free turns, and the stage is such a short bursty mess that Eiko will be able to spam HP regens if she needs to, and the Vaynes will just be doing what they do. And then Zack will come back at the end to do Zack things, and he will just totally tear the boss a new arsehole. So okay, I might as well show you all my artifact passives first, which of course I have triple 108 soldier grits on Zack because of the Sarah farm, which resulted in me getting perfect artifacts more or less for Zack and Vayne. For Vayne, I'm actually going to be running double Mighty Force of Will and just 1 console boost, because honestly that just helps his damage with Force of Will more, especially on these bursty stages where that's the skill he's going to be using the most, although it probably won't make a difference when we get into Bahamut. And for Eiko, I'm just running with what I've got basically. She needs Max Brave, all she can get, essentially. Thankfully everyone on the team that's not her has an aura, so that helps her get up high, and Bahamut is there to make Rush Assault do obscene amounts of damage. And we won't have a problem charging the summon even with a very low turn count, because of the constant Force of Will spam. We'll just keep breaking and breaking and breaking the enemies, which will charge the summon super quickly. So without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so that's nice. Enemy is targeting Zack. So I am going to use a Rush Assault here just to get up his buffs. Thankfully the enemy's HPs are low enough that Eiko can use HP regen and take one out. So Zack is going to be using Mach Wave, so he gets his 3 stacks. Zack is going to be using Chain Slash on this one, which will be enough to take it out. And then Eiko will HP regen again, so we get the bonus free turn on Vayne. And the Lamia has the lowest health, which is why I left it for last. So we can do a Mach Wave here. Force of Will. And just spam Mach Waves basically. So now Zack can't really do anything if he's not being targeted. So this is where we bring in the friend Vayne, who has swapped his skill order. Thank fuck I noticed it before I hit the wrong skill. I hate when people do that. Please do not swap your friend support skills. So here I'm going to use HP regen again, because the friend Vayne needs to get buffed and he will get his extra free turns. And so then we have our Vayne, who will most certainly be using Tree of Saphira. And then we can just take these guys out. No problem. And now we're in the boss wave. Hopefully Eiko gets a turn before Vayne, but I don't think she will, because she's not used Smite yet. No, she doesn't. So our Vayne actually gets his 3 free turns here. And this is where I am going to pop the summon. And as we can see, the enemy is actually targeting our friend Vayne, which is amazing because he'll be targeting Zack when Zack gets back, which is what we want because that's where all Zack's damage comes from. So now we spam Rush Assault. So I'm actually going to use Mach Wave here, so that Vayne will get his 3 stacks, and then we can boost it up with Eiko. Ah! And it just has a sliver of health remaining at the end. So that's actually going to be 14 turns. Which is slightly unfortunate, because I was able to do this in 13 turns before. It worked out better because Zack had more turn rate in the summon, so he got an extra Rush Assault. Okay, so I mean, still a pretty competent score. I don't think I can really get it that much higher with this team. I've tried it with Lael, and yeah, launching is great fun, but you just can't quite get the same number of free turns. Like it's only counted 14 turns there, so you know that's pretty ridiculous. All right, so that's going to be all for this video. Nothing really too much to do here. Just waiting pretty much for the level 70 era to come along, and hopefully for Cosmos to get a little bit more difficult, although I do basically have all the broken characters, so I suppose I shouldn't be complaining too much. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Cheers.